get that thing.
And also, I did say transfer upgrade. You just did that.
Yeah, that's what I put the title. I put it in the actual title of the searching when you search for. It's the ManUnited transfer updates. Overheating already. So sunny. Demo. So yeah, I think it's Naomi. So we don't need that one yet, but if it gets dark, I'll do that. Can't make it less interesting. Say something. Hello. It should be scene. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't even have a microphone hooked up to this scene. just Google something different. Is it still there? One. Cookies. Oh, Cunha, sorry. It must be. Sabrina. Yeah. And just tell me. Doesn't matter. I'm searching. It's fine. No. I can change it to starting soon and then it'll switch. No, that's all. Going to be like just. Let me go. Okay.
Welcome, people, to the show, to the transfer show today. Smash a like, please, on your entry. I hope you are doing well. Hope you guys have had a good day, good weekend. There is a lot for us to go through today. A lot. I haven't been live for many weeks. Listen, there's Sound check. There's the Gorkes deal. Apparently, United have open talks for Gorkes. It's been reported by Fabrizio Romano and Sky. So we are going to take a deep dive and talk about that today. We're going to talk about Garnacho. Apparently, there are two Premier League clubs interested in Garnacho. One of them is Arsenal, and of course, the other one is Chelsea. We're going to talk about that today. We also have to talk about Mbeumo. We, of course, went in. First bid has been made, and we all know the first bid was rejected. It has gone quiet. It has gone quiet since then, but there's been a further update today. So we are going to talk about that today. The Cunha deal, as we all know, has already been finalized. It's already done. But on this channel, once again, we're going to talk about that deal, talk a little bit about Cunha, where he fits in. I'm excited about that signing, and I hope you guys are as well. We're going to touch on Bruno staying. Some people are happy that Bruno stayed. Some people are not so happy. We're going to talk about the implications of him staying, what I believe that means going forward in terms of the rebuild. The midfield, in my opinion, still needs work. The midfield is still a very weak point in the Manchester United team. So we're going to talk about all of that today, plus more. So please, people, as I've said before, brand new channel, we're starting up. Smash a like, turn on your notifications, subscribe if you can. Yeah, and let's get into it, people. Let's get into it. Today's been a good day, decent day. In terms of everything else apart from transfers, it's been a slow day, I would say, with regards to transfer news. And today, or tomorrow, is the deadline, the first deadline. Don't ask me about this small transfer window that we have. I believe that reason why we have it open is because of the Club World Cup, and that's it. So tomorrow, the transfer window closes and it opens again in a week or so. Don't ask me when, for the rest of the summer. So this first mini window ends tomorrow. But Gorkes. If you told me that Manchester United, after finishing 15th in the Premier League, after having the season that we've had, no European football, not only no Champions League football, no European football. If you told me that after this season we had a chance of getting Gorkes, I would have slapped you in your face and told you to cry to your mama. That's what I would have said. But here we are, and it's not only possible, I feel like it could really, really happen. This transfer could really, really happen. I think most Man United fans, after watching Højlund fall over constantly, back up into defenders constantly, have a first touch like a brick wall, the ball bouncing off his feet, no presence, nothing. After seeing Højlund stink out the gaff for 2 seasons, I think a lot of us are biting our nails, are frantically praying to every god, to Buddha and Allah, Jesus, everyone. We're praying to everyone and we're saying, please get this deal done. Apparently, according to Romano and according to Sky, Manchester United have officially opened talks with Gorkes' camp for a transfer. The fact that we're even at the table right now, having conversations, the fact that there's a fee around £55 million apparently, and I do believe it will be more than £55 million. I think we will have to pay more than that to get him. But the fact that we're at the table, and I know Arsenal are also another club looking for a striker, and I believe they're very close in getting Sesko. And when you think about it, guys, when you actually think about it, apart from Arsenal, what other clubs in England can actually get Gorkes? Liverpool don't want him. Man City have Haaland. I don't think Tottenham are interested. So, and Arsenal are the only club really looking for a striker, and I think they're getting Sesko. So, the more I think about it, and the more this deal develops, the more I actually think, you know what? We're not only at the table. I actually believe, especially with the fact that he has a relationship with our manager, Amram, I'm beginning to slowly believe we might be front runners. Listen, I don't want to get too excited here. We've seen situations like this unfold before, and we do not get the player, whether it's John Obi Mikel at Chelsea or going to Chelsea or whatever it is. We've seen this before. But we could be out of the hellhole. We could be out of hell if we get this striker. Listen, I like Xerxes. I think if we don't get a striker and start the season with Xerxes, Cunha, and Embuemo, we would be all right. But if we get Gorkes, and listen, I wasn't even the biggest fan of Gorkes. I wasn't, but he's better than what we have. He is. Some people might not like his style. He's a bit rough, but he's strong. He runs the channels. And I know Amram loves a striker who can run the channels, hold the ball up, who can finish, who's instinctive. He is Amram's man. He knows how to play Amram's system. He knows the formation very well, and he would fit in perfectly. If we can get this deal done over the line, I will bite your hand off. And I pray. So like I said, guys, that's the update. We are at the table. We have open talks. This Gorkis deal might take the whole summer. Man United are putting it out there that it will depend on going outs, who we sell. I'm not always the biggest fan of when Manchester United quote the players that need to be sold. I think they put it out there that it depends on the sale of Rashford, Garnacho and Sancho. For me, what that does is put the fans against players. Now the fans know that in order to get Gorkes, these three players need to be sold. And what that does is, pits fans against players. I don't know if we needed to know specifically who had to be sold in order to get this player in. The club could have easily announced that we need to make sales. We need to make sales in order to generate the fee. But they specifically said these three players. I'm not sure if I like that, but it is clear that United do need to offload players. And as much as we can get excited about the links to Gorkes and all of these other players, we have to remember that outgoings are just as important. We have struggled as a club to get players out, whether players feel comfortable on their big, long contracts and feel that they don't need to go anywhere. Whatever the reason is, we historically have failed to get certain players out the club and revamp the squad for our new managers. Chelsea do it very, very quickly. Chelsea do it very easily. We need to get better at doing it. So, as I said, that's the Gorkis conversation. Let me know what you guys think of signing Gorkis. Are you guys excited that we're opening conversations, we're opening talks? Does it mean that we're front runners for that deal, for this signing? Will he, if he does come, hit the ground running? Will Arsenal sign him? Listen, these are all still possibilities. All of these things are up in the air. We don't know yet, but people, the fact that we are at the table, the fact that there is a chance of him coming after the season that we have had. So Jim, listen, Ineos, you're not out of the mess yet. You're not home and dry yet. But so far, Vivel, yeah, and what's his name? The new not Dan Ashworth, the other guy. His name is not coming to me. The recruitment director now of Manchester United. What's his name? Recruitment director. Englishman. The English guy. Type in Man United recruitment director. Or football director. New footballing director. No. Head of recruitment?
sorry.
Let me see. Jason Wilcox. There you go, guys. We got there in the end. As soon as I typed it in, Man United football director Jason Wilcox came up. Come on, Dave, be quicker. So Jason Wilcox, I think, since he's come to the club and since he's had sort of his stamp on things, I think we're seeing Man United linked to better players. United, this transfer window, rather than being linked to XYZ foreign players, we seem to be getting linked to tried and tested players, the best of the Premier League and the best players around the world. That's where we've gone, and that's where it seems that we are going this summer. So Jason Wilcox, Ineos, listen, there's a lot to not be desired when it comes to Ineos, but they've also done some good things, and they continue doing some good things. So we have to keep the criticism of Ineos objective. They've done bad things and they've done good things. Celtistic in the chat says United should get Gorkers over other Premier League teams. United should get Gorkers. Yep. Arsenal, going for Sesko. They could still go in for Gorkers, but we'll have to wait and see. So we will see about that one, guys. The next person I want to talk about is Garnacho. Now, it's also been reported that Garnacho is leaving the football club. It's not only been reported, I think we all know as Man United fans that Garnacho would be leaving. Even before the bust up at the end of the season with the manager that is now being made public after what the manager has said, I think most United fans either want Garnacho to leave or at least expect Garnacho to leave. And the club has now come out over the last few days officially saying that Garnacho will leave the club. So what I will say about Garnacho leaving is, first and foremost, I think it is best for him to leave. I think he does need to leave for multiple reasons. One reason, basically, he doesn't fit the system. He's not a fullback. We don't play fullbacks. He's not a wing back, and he's not a number 10. He's not an inside 10. He is a winger. That's what Garnacho is. He does not fit the system. That's the first reason. Second reason, personally, I do not believe he is good enough for Manchester United Football Club. We've watched Garnacho over 2 seasons and he's played about 100 games over the last 2 or 3 seasons. And while I've seen some sparks of talent, and he is talented, I believe his footballing IQ is terrible. I don't think he understands the game. He doesn't pass when he needs to pass, doesn't shoot when he does need to shoot. He probably shoots a bit too much. So I think his footballing ability is overstated. I don't think he's as good as he thinks he is. I think the fan base has created this problem. I think we always look for a hero and we make songs about players before they've even achieved anything, and we put them on a pedestal before they've done anything, and that's what we've done with Garnacho. He's created a fan base without actually achieving anything. He's got a crazy huge fan base, and I think he's created that fan base just by jumping off the back of the CR7. And I think it's time for him to leave also because his attitude, his temperament, I think when it comes to players having bad attitudes and that sort of thing, people have to talk about Jadon Sancho and other players. He is the embodiment. How many times has he been left out of the squad by Amorim? How many times have we heard about him and his ill discipline? How many times have we seen his ill discipline? But yet the narrative around him is not about his discipline. He is the most ill-disciplined player, one of the most ill-disciplined players I've seen at the football club. Yet Sancho, just by saying, listen, don't listen. Sancho is a different story anyway, to be fair. I shouldn't compare him. But all Sancho did was say, stop using me as a scapegoat. That's all he said. and everyone hated Sancho. Get out the club. He's disciplined. He's disciplined. He's disciplined. I'm like, what? Compared to what Garnacho has done? Compared to Garnacho and his brother? All those tweets. Listen, it's night and day. Listen, I don't think Sancho should come back to the club either. I'm not, I'm not deluded, but I'm just giving you perspective. People don't keep the same energy for Garnacho. So there's a multiple reasons why I think Garnacho should leave the club. Whether it's attitude problems, whether he doesn't fit in the system, whether I don't think he's that great. But I will say this though. I will say this. I'm not one of those fans who hate Garnacho for the sake of hating Garnacho. I actually do think he will be fine in the right system for the right club. We've seen enough of Garnacho, and he's only 20 or 21, right? I've seen enough of him in the Premier League to know that he can actually play, let's say, for Napoli or an Italian team, slower pace league, slower defenders, run at the defenders, cause mayhem. I think he will be okay, but just not at Man United. Which brings me full circle, people. Apparently, Chelsea and Arsenal are looking at Garnacho. If you are an Arsenal fan right now, right, and you have Martinelli, and Martinelli's been, I wouldn't say been a problem, but he's been a contentious issue for some Arsenal fans. You need the equivalent left winger to Saka. You tried with Trossard, not really it. Martinelli, not really it. Garnacho, listen, Garnacho's not good as Martinelli, and it's not as good as Trossard. I pray, like I said, to all the gods and Muhammad and Jesus, that Arsenal get Garnacho from us. I know Arsenal are also looking at the Bayern winger, Sane. But please, Arsenal, I beg, give us £55 million for Garnacho. I beg. Chelsea, you owe us one. After what you did to us with Mason Mount, you owe us. After what you did to us with Jadon Sancho, you owe us. You owe us. So, personally, I wouldn't want Garnacho to go to a Premier League club. One of the reasons why I wouldn't want Garnacho to go to the Premier League club is, even though I don't think he's good enough, and even though I don't think he's that great, I think there's something. There's something there. And I would hate for this guy to turn into prime Messi. Listen, I'm 99% sure that's not going to happen. I am. But I would hate for him to turn prime Messi and slap us in the Premier League. So I want Garnacho sold, and I need him sold to Italy, Spain, somewhere outside the Premier League. However, I do think Premier League clubs will probably give us more for him. So if we do sell Garnacho, because he constitutes as a homegrown player, that will help with PSR. So there's loads of benefits of selling Garnacho. I don't rate him. I think he needs to leave. I think we need a restart. I think Cunha in the left 10, especially when linking up with Dorgu, I think we'll see a better Dorgu as well. Because I saw last season when Dorgu came, so many times Dorgu was looking for the give and go. So many times he was looking for Garnacho to slip him through. Garnacho would ignore him. I feel like with better combination plays on the left, we might even see a better Dorgu. So that's the Garnacho news. Let me see what you guys are saying. United in the chat saying he came through the youth, so he's pure profit. Good choice to sell. Exactly, bro. Exactly what I'm saying. Pure profit. Sell him, and we can spend a lot more money. A lot more money. That's how it works. Erfane, big up yourselves, Erfane. Kier Dali. Listen, if I'm butchering your name, bro, I apologize. Garnacho's a flop. Garnacho, 20 million for Garnacho. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would take it. But listen, look at the market, man. Look at the players that are going for big money. Like Garnacho is still 20. And I know, listen, I don't do the age thing. I don't really do the age thing. But I know the age thing is a thing, especially in the market. You can say, listen, this guy's 21. He's played about 100 Premier League games at the age of 21. He knows the league, and he's not going to get worse. He's probably going to get better. So you can twang. You can twang it. Twang it. Listen, give us 40 million for him, and I am good. I am good. United, I love that he loves Ronaldo, but come on. You can't use other people's success to mask your failings. Anyway, Viva Garnacho. Listen, you're taking the words out of my mouth. That's how I feel about Garnacho. He goes to sleep wearing CR7 boxes. He does. He goes to sleep wearing them boxes. So it is what it is. But Arsenal, how can Arsenal be in for Garnacho? He's not even as good as Martinelli or Trossard. Why would you go for Garnacho and you've got one Yeri? I don't think the Arsenal thing is got legs. I don't really think that has legs. I hope it does, and I pray it does, but I don't really think it does. The Chelsea thing, Chelsea came in already for him in January. They were looking around. Napoli were looking around also. So, yeah, the manager doesn't want him. The club does not want him. He's up for sale. He will leave. It's just about where and how much. And that's it. So, that's Garnacho. Let me know what you guys think. You guys are in the chat anyway. United said that's too much. United said, 45 million is too much for Garnacho. So how much would you guys demand? The reason, listen, it's not about how much I rate him. You know, I'm putting how much I rate him. Listen, if I sold him, according to how much I rate him, I'll take 20 million. Yeah. But I'm just looking at the market. I'm looking at the fact that United are always getting bumped when it comes to deals. Whether it's Langa for 15 million or whatever it is, we always sell low. And I think with Garnacho, because of the CR7, because of the hype around him, the media, and all of these other things, and his fan base, I think we could twang it, bro. I honestly think we can. Twang Garnacho and get about 45 million for him. Not that he's worth it, but I think we can. You know, I said good luck, Garnacho. Listen, on this channel, I try not to hate too much in it, because hate's a strong word, and it's only football. I dislike the way Garnacho plays football, but like I said, I think listen, let me know what the left wing market is saying, because from my perspective, the left wing market is dead. Who we got in the left wing market right now? Leao. We got maybe Sane. We got the Spanish guy, Nico Williams. I'm not gonna lie, guys. The left wing market is dead. So I get why loads of clubs will be looking at Garnacho. And let's be honest here, Garnacho is very direct. There are not too many direct wingers. Wingers who get the ball. And listen, I'm not saying Garnacho's good. I'm just looking at his profile. Yeah. He's direct. He gets the ball and he's running. He got a scatty run about him. Garnacho's got a scat. Listen, Garnacho, he moves bare, quick and rigidly and scatty, he's doing a lot of things, but he's not. He's not. But he's direct, Garnacho. He's direct, and I think a lot of clubs, including Chelsea, Chelsea got Madueke, and the reason why, and they trying to offload Madueke for about 40 M's. So listen, if Chelsea are gonna offload Madueke, and I don't rate Madueke, but if they're trying to offload Madueke for 40 M's, I'm telling you, we can offload Garnacho for 40 M's. We can. So I don't know, man. I don't know. There's just something about Garnacho. I think if he can learn to pass and when to shoot, there's a decent player in there. He's still very young and has a lot of room for improvement. United, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm gonna keep my biases to one side. Keep my biases to one side of how I feel about him. And look at it objectively and say, do you know what? Man is young. He's 21, bro. He's played a lot of games at a very young age. If United were playing a 4-3-3 system, I'll keep him on the bench. He'll be a bench player. Come off. Listen, the best Garnacho, we've seen at Man United, was a Garnacho that came off the bench and influenced games for 10 minutes. Because he was direct. That's the point. When teams were tired, we used to bring Garnacho on for about 10-15 minutes. He's not that quick. He's deceivingly slow. Like, he's not as quick as you think he is. But he's direct and he's scatty. And that used to get defenders nervous. They used to terrify defenders. He used to go left and go right. That's the best Garnacho we've seen. That Garnacho. But when he started playing every game and he started being a first team player, we started seeing his limitations. We did. So let me know, guys. That's what I feel about Garnacho. He's leaving. I want him to leave. I think he will go abroad. I don't fully believe the Arsenal rumours. I think the Chelsea ones have more legs, but I think Chelsea are also getting a left winger themselves. I hope the Arsenal rumours are true. I pray you idiots buy him. I pray. Oh, man, it will just be amazing. But I don't think it's happening. So, anyway, those Gorkers of Garnacho, they are nowhere near done deals. But we are in the kitchen. We're in the kitchen for Gorkers, at the table for Gorkers, and Garnacho, we're trying to listen, we put him in a dustbin and we're trying to throw him in a garbage bag. That's what we're trying to do, but he's not there yet. So those two deals in the pipeline. Then we got to talk about Mbeumo. Because that deal is, a lot of people are getting scared. A lot of United fans are becoming nervous because we started quickly. We started the transfer window. The Cunha conversations were happening months and months before the transfer window began. He's a Man United fan. That deal was quite easy to do. Then we had Mbeumo talks, and then we had the first bid in Mbeumo. Since then, things have slowed down. And because we started so quickly in the transfer window, I think United fans are now expecting bam, 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 speed, everyday news. The Mbeumo news has slowed down, and there's talk about Tottenham hijack. And listen, we have to talk about the Tottenham hijack. Even though I do not believe Tottenham will hijack the deal, but the news is out there and everyone's talking about it. So, as most of you know, Tottenham are now asking questions about Mbeumo. They've contacted Brentford. As you all know, Thomas Frank is going to be the new manager of Tottenham Hotspurs. And as you all know, Thomas Frank was previously the manager of Brentford, where Mbeumo currently plays. So all of these things are now combining together, mixing together in one large cocktail, making people believe, even though Tottenham were in for him before and he said no to Tottenham, apparently now it's different because his boss now plays for Tottenham. And listen, it makes sense. This is the scenario. This manager has unearthed this player, groomed, helped this player reach another level. This is the manager that he probably respects, potentially loves. We don't know the relationship, but from what I can see from the outside, he likes this manager. So it would make sense for this manager to say, ring, and Mbeumo, I'm now at Tottenham. Do you want to come to Tottenham, play Champions League football, right? Play in your favoured position and bring this club to glory? He could say yes to that. That makes sense. However, I still don't think that's going to happen. I do not believe it's going to happen. I still believe that he will sign for Manchester United Football Club. I have faith and confidence that he will do so. I've spoken to some people in Manchester, some people, I can't say names, who work for the club, who are also confident that this deal will happen. So that's my kind of insight knowledge there. I think United are comfortable. The second bid has not gone in yet. So when you've heard, guys, that the second bid has gone in, there has been no second bid. What's happened is that after the first bid, we've now sat down and we've spoken to Brentford and we said, okay, cool. Let's converse a bit more. What do you really want? It's going to happen. And Mbeumo wants Manchester United. It's just about finalising the structure of the deal, so both camps are happy. I would be very, very, very surprised if Mbeumo does not come to Manchester United. Anything is possible. We've seen this story before. We've seen deals being hijacked. This one, I just don't think so. I just don't. There's also conversations about the fee. There's conversations about the personal terms. I think personal terms have been agreed with Mbeumo. There was conversation about Mbeumo getting 250 grand a week or something. Listen, guys, do not listen to that crap. Mbeumo is getting nowhere near £250,000 a week. Probably closer to about 180 is what's really been spoken about behind closed doors, which is a major jump from what he's on at Brentford. But he deserves it after the season he's had. There's a lot of people who are concerned that we're signing a player off the back of an amazing season, because that 28, is it 25, 26, something like that, 28 goals contribution, I think even more than that. I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but his goal contribution was at least in the late 20s, goals and assists. Some people are saying that that's a one-off season, and buying a player off the back of a one-off amazing season is a mistake. I don't think it's a mistake. I think he fits perfectly in that inside right 10 channel. I think him and Amad Diallo would interchange, especially if we have teams pinned back in the final third. I can imagine him going out wide like he does for Brentford and Amad tucking in, or he tucks in, Amad drifts wide. We need to see interchanging players, right, between, well, we need to see interchanging players in general. That's one thing we don't see, players interchange. And we need to see those triangles between the right 10, the right wing back, and the right centre back. The triangles that they make, and also on the other side, the left centre back, the left 10, and the left wing back. Those are the key areas of the field for Amrim's system and the way Amrim plays. And we don't utilise those triangles. We don't utilise those players enough when we're building up from the back. And I think, like I said, with Cunha down the left, Mbeumo on the right, Dorgu, Amad, we're going to see better combinations, overlapping runs, so on and so forth. So Mbeumo, like I said, second bid is imminent, guys. We will make a second bid. Might not be today because there's no need to rush, but a second bid will come. Just be patient, people. We've started very, very quickly. It doesn't mean we need to end very, very quickly. We know what's going on, and I think United, they have a plan. For the first time in a long time, I feel that, especially with Wilcox there, Wilcox's role has changed and he's got a more senior role, more control. So with Vivell and Wilcox there, I think for the first time in a long time, we actually have a plan as a football club. So Mbeumo, I know Tottenham, there's talks about Tottenham. No, I don't think he's going to go to Tottenham. I do still believe he will be a Manchester United player come the summer. Now, that is Mbeumo. Before we finish, we're just going to touch on Cunha. Now this deal, as you know, is done. Cunha has signed for Manchester United. That was, or he is our first signing of the summer. It's done. Excuse me. It's done already. And we've known that it's been done. When we did officially sign him, when we made the official announcement, there wasn't too much excitement because we knew he was coming. We were talking to him for a long time, so that deal was always going to happen in a lot of people's minds. But let me tell you guys, the fact that we've got Cunha, and I know there are negatives. Every player, no player is perfect. No player is perfect. Every player will be will have things that they're not that good at, and they will have things that they're amazing at, just like Cunha. But look at the stats right now. Not the stats on the screen now, because we're going to talk about the stats on the screen in a second. But his general stats, top 6 attackers in the league, top 6 for ball progression in the final third. Like most of his stats, he's top 6, sometimes top 3. What we have in Cunha is a maverick signing. And we don't make enough of these signings. We have somebody who can win a game on his own. We don't have enough of those players who can win a game on their own. We have somebody who can get the ball from defense and transition to attack very, very quickly and very, very effectively and efficiently. He can move with the ball. He can go inside. He can go out. He plays that left 10 position for Wolves anyway. So he's familiar with the system. He's familiar with the formation and that position. As we know, he's Brazilian. He's now in the Brazilian squad. And he's a Manchester United fan. He's a very, 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 very good shot taker. If there's a chance, he's taken a shot. What we have with Cunha could have gone anywhere. He could have gone Arsenal. He could have gone anywhere. But he's come to Manchester United. If we get Mbeumo over the line, if we somehow can get Gorkers, if we start the season, people, with Cunha on the left 10, and Mbeumo on the right 10, and Gorkers up front. Oh my God. Will that be a stark contrast in how we ended this season with Garnacho, Mason Mount, who else? Højlund. Like, that front three, our new front three, our potential front three, is arguably the best front three in the league. No. I'm being real. I'm not even trying to gas. Tell me a better front three in the Premier League, potentially, than Cunha, Mbeumo, and Gorkers. And I haven't even mentioned Zexi. Because one thing this is the thing. Mbeumo and Cunha, they're goal scorers. Yes, they can facilitate for Gorkers, and they will. But they're goal scorers. And I believe that Zexi will play better with those two. I can see Zexi dropping in, holding the ball up, and just spraying balls to Cunha and Mbeumo, linking the play. Like, listen. As Man United fans, we have been starved. Last season, was hell. It was like sitting in hell and getting pricked by the devil's fork every game. We saw the worst football that we've ever seen, the worst season that we've ever seen. And if we can get these 3 signings over the line, listen, I don't even know. I don't even know what I'll do. I think I'll scream. I can't scream. I'll find a way to. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Like, Cunha, I'm so happy that the deal's done. I'm so happy that we've got him over the line. I'm so happy that he can play that left 10 role. And if maybe, play the striker role. He can play up front. Now, we've got the stat on the screen right now. And I want to talk about this for a little bit. First and foremost, why does this stat even exist? Let's talk about it, people. Someone had to sit down here and say, let's calculate how much people walk on the football pitch. Like, what does this stat mean, people? I'm actually asking a question to the chat, because I'm gonna tell you what, and this is a perfect example of how stats are manipulative, how stats can manipulate the situation. Like, they don't give context, right? So on that list of the Premier League's top walkers are mostly defenders. I think, right? Or defensive players with Virgil van Dijk. So he's a top walker in the Premier League. Cool. That's what the stat shows. However, if I told you that he also does the most sprints, he does the most amount of sprints in the final third out of any player in the Premier League. If I also gave you that stat, which means he's reserving his energy for all those sprints that he makes, yeah, then that will give context to this stat. It does, doesn't it? If I say, okay, for you to be the top sprinter in the final third, or the player who does the most amount of sprints into the final third, or whatever you want to call it, right? For you to have that stat, you also need to have, or to be able to reserve your energy in order to make those runs, right? So this top walker stat, with the context of the fact that he's also the top sprinter, it makes sense. Secondly, just because he walked a lot this season, why does it necessarily mean he will walk a lot when he signs for Manchester United? His role might be different. His responsibility might be different. And what the manager wants him to do might be slightly different. At Wolves, he's their only outlet. He is their only outlet. So many of the times he's reserving his energy, waiting to sprint. At Manchester United, assuming we get Mbeumo, assuming we get Gorkers, he will not be our only outlet. He'll have to put in a shift anyway. So, yeah, I wanted to highlight this stat here just to say, do you know what? It's also coming from the BBC. BBC, do better, man. What is this? Do better. Anyway, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Turkish, Mbeumo, 20 goals, 7 assists this season. So, yeah, almost 28 GA for Mbeumo. Top walker like the Walking Dead, you know. Makes sense. He has to walk off all the sprinting to manage muscle fatigue. Well, yeah, and also you can look at it that way. Muscle fatigue, he has to walk, you know. So listen, I'm not making excuses for the stat. I'm just saying that stat alone, with no context, can easily get people worried, make people think that he's a luxury player and all of these things. Listen, this guy is strong. The one thing about our 10s that we play with now, Garnacho as a 10, Ahmad as a 10, they are hobbits. They're hobbits. Garnacho's always on the floor, and as strong as Ahmad is for his size, he's easily bullied. I've seen Ahmad get marked out of the game, especially recently. And I think with Mbeumo and Cunha, they're both very quick, especially Mbeumo. Mbeumo is rapid, and they're not players that you can just muscle off the ball. They're not players you can just hench out. They're not. They're very strong players. So I'm happy that we've got Cunha over the line. Like I said, Mbeumo, don't worry, people. That will be confirmed very, very soon. Just stay tuned. I will talk to my people in the next few days to find out a bit more information about when that could get done. Garnacho is definitely leaving. It's just about amount of time and just about where he is going, not when or who. Gorkers, listen, we've only started talking, we've only inquired, but like I keep saying, the fact that we're at the table for Gorkers, I am over the moon. We, in the space of one transfer window, could revamp a whole front line. And one thing that we've said as United fans is that we need to delete our front line. The only forward player that I would keep is Xerxes. And actually, I'm getting quite nervous seeing some reports that Xerxes might leave. If Xerxes leaves this football club before Hoyland does, it is a crime, and somebody somewhere needs to get arrested. Somebody. We need to find them and put them in, not get arrested, straitjackets, asylums. Like Trump will say, insane asylums. Anyway, guys, let's get on to quickly Bruno. I will touch on Bruno a little bit, only because Bruno's a captain. And Bruno has decided, apparently, to stay at Manchester United despite the lucrative offer from El Halilal. Sorry, it's not El Halilal, by the way. El Halilal. My gosh, Al Hilal. Flipping heck. Butchering names left, right, and center. But this is what I have to say about the Bruno situation. When it was announced that, Bruno was talking to Al Hilal, I thought to myself, he's definitely leaving, because the club have given him permission to talk, and he himself is talking. He's not rejected that proposal. He didn't reject the club. He opened talks and he started negotiating personal terms, and we're gonna accept the fee, right? All of a sudden, 4 days later, it comes out that Bruno has stated that the club no longer needs the money, apparently. And because the club no longer needs the money, he is staying. Now, if you believe that, that's fine. You can believe that. But this is what I heard, right? What changed in those 4 days, for the club to need the money? So please open talks and get the deal done. 2, we don't need the money. What changed in those 4 days between us saying to Bruno, we need the money, you can negotiate with them, we're going to take the fee for you, to 4 days later, we do not need the money? Nothing changed. Not from the club's perspective. We didn't get any cash injections. We didn't get any more money in. So somebody's lying. Somebody's lying. Because the players are the same. Sancho's still there to be sold. Garnacho's still there to be sold. Anthony, all these players are still there to be sold then, and they're still there to be sold now. So how can he go from, I'll go if the club needs the money, start negotiating, looking for schools, speaking to his wife, whatever, to, I don't want to go anymore because the club doesn't need the money? Why? What? This is what I think happened. I believe Al Hilal changed their minds. I believe Al Hilal approached Inzaghi. I think they're about to sign Inzaghi, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I do not believe, maybe Inzaghi didn't fancy Bruno. Maybe they pulled out the deal. And therefore Bruno had nowhere to go, had to spin it and say, by the way, the club doesn't need the money anymore, so I'm staying. I think that's a spin. I think Bruno coming out in the first place and saying that the only reason why I would go is if the club needs the money, I think that's manipulative and that's a spin. He's essentially saying, I'll go because the club, or I'll only go if the club doesn't want me anymore and needs the fee to reimburse the squad. Bruno's very good, now that he's a captain, he's very good at not doing much in a football game and stat padding and coming up with a goal or assist. And many of you guys will say, listen, that's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to come up with a goal and assist. He's doing his job. Bruno is the type of footballer who will never give you a great 90-minute performance. He will never really show up in a final. He's never shown up in a big game, really, for Man United. He will have a terrible performance, but somehow give you a goal or assist. I don't like those sort of players. I don't like a player who gives the ball away 40% of the time. I never saw him as a number 10. He's not a number 10. He's not a Neymar. He's not a number 10. He's more of a box-to-box player. I think he gives the ball away too easily. I think the fan base, we're too lenient on him. He gets a free passage. He played every single game last season, more or less. Every game. Every single game we lost last season, he was on the pitch for. He got sent off, I think, 3 times last season. He's a captain of our football club. And he got sent off 3 times last season. And like I said, he was on the pitch for every single game we lost. And I feel like he gets the praise when we win. He gets the praise when he gets a goal or assist. But when we lose, he avoids all the criticism when we lose. It's never Bruno's fault that we lost, despite the fact that he gave the ball away in the Europa League final that led to the goal. We conceded in that Europa League final because he gave the ball away, right? His carelessness in possession led to the goal. Nobody wants to talk about that. So I feel like his rise in Manchester United, at Manchester United, has come at the same time as Manchester United's decline. Think about that. The more important Bruno has become for this club, the worse this club has become. It's not just his fault. I'm not blaming it on Bruno alone. It's a mix of multiple factors and multiple players. A team is 11 players, not just Bruno. But he's the captain. And I feel like if this was Pogba we were talking about and the decline of Manchester United came about with his captaincy, he will be hounded out the club. People would want a new start, a refresh. And I was looking forward to him leaving. Not because I don't think we need him, but I was looking forward to a new chapter, a brand new start. Luke Shaw, Bruno, Rashford, everyone just being cleared out. Now, the fact that he is staying, because Bruno's not rubbish. Despite the fact he's not my cup of tea, he's not rubbish. He's a decent player. Some will say good, some might even say world class. If we do get Gorkers in, now that we've got Cunha, and if we do get Mbeumo in, I hope that Bruno can deliver those passes, those through balls that he likes to do to these players. I hope we see a better Bruno. So, all in all, when it comes to Bruno, I still wish we had sold him. I really do. But now that he is here, cool. Let's get the best out of him. Cunha, make those runs. Mbeumo, if you come, make those runs. Give him options. The midfield is a problem. We can get all of these attackers all we like. The midfield is a problem. If we start this season with Bruno and Casemiro as our double pivot, we might score 3 and concede 2. I'm being honest, guys. Like, Bruno's ill discipline and lack of positional discipline in that double pivot is a problem. It is a problem. Casemiro's lack of legs, despite the fact that I still think he's quality, is a problem, guys. So, yeah, that's my opinion on the Bruno situation. Wanted him gone, but now that he is staying, I'm content. I'm content with him staying as long as we get the attackers in. We do need a midfielder. Whether we want to promote Kone, maybe send him out on loan, whatever. But we need a ball progressor. We need someone who can progress the football, who can keep it ticking. I mean, ManUnited could do with a Zubamendi right now. We really could. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. That's my thoughts on Bruno. Let me see what the chat is saying quickly. Yeah, Turkish, cool. Hope you guys are doing well. Let me know what you guys thinking of Bruno, the Bruno situation, the Garnacho situation. Where do you think Garnacho will end up this summer? Please leave your comments below. Let me know. Listen, how hopeful are you about Gorkers? Is this wishful thinking? Are we getting too ahead of ourselves? Should we just relax a little bit? Because when we finished 15th, we said collectively as a fan base, most of us were thinking we're not going to attract certain players without the Champions League football. It seems as if that narrative might not be true. Like those memes say, we're United. It's Manchester United we're talking about. It's Manchester United we're talking about. That's it. It's Man United. All things are possible, not through Christ, but through Man United. All things are all things are possible. Listen, we might be back. If we get these players, in, I might have a new attitude next season. I might be a bit more shameless next season. I might be a bit more reckless next season. I might have to be. Also, guys, before we leave, there is talk from, I think, Inter Milan, I believe it's Inter Milan, have inquired about Rasmus Højlund. Is it Inter Milan? Let's double check. I know an Italian team has inquired about Rasmus Højlund. Yeah, is it Inter?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is Inter Milan. So Inter Milan have inquired about Rasmus. Well, let me know what you guys think about Rasmus Højlund, because I can't be here being negative all by myself. I feel like I'm bullying the guy, but he's trash. Am I the only person who thinks he's trash? Can we just say he's trash, or do we have to be politically correct? He's crap, right? He's just not good. Like, we bought a striker, who hadn't scored more than like 10 goals in any season, anywhere, at any time, in any league. And we got him and we thought we're going to turn him into Van Persie. What? Like, you don't turn players into anything. You just make them better. He didn't have the fundamentals, in my opinion, to be a great striker in the Premier League. He's not as strong as I thought he was going to be. He's at 6'3", and he's very quick, but he doesn't use his body very well at all. His balance is off. He doesn't have the footballing IQ. I feel like he doesn't know where to be, doesn't know where to go. And I haven't really seen an improvement. When he shoots, he's off balance. And listen, this is a team, a Manchester United team. Listen, whether you agree or disagree, well, there's nothing to agree. Whether you hate Mason Greenwood because of what he did in his personal life, you can still do that. I don't mind. What he did was disgusting. But as a footballer, the fact that we had Mason who can go left, right. Mason Greenwood had 18 goals and assists for Marseille. No. I don't think it was 18 goals and assists. I think Mason Greenwood had 18 goals this season for Marseille. Mason Greenwood will end up at Madrid. And I said this 2 years ago, and I'll say it now. If he improves and continues on this trajectory, he will be probably the best striker in the world in the next 2 or 3 years. Mason Greenwood. And to go from that to this Højlund brother, I don't understand. Like, Ten Hag needs to be fired again, like, and investigated. If you can fire someone twice from the same job, I'll fire him again and then investigate him, because this signing is 75 million or whatever. It's absolutely insane how much we got bumped. If we can get just 40 million pounds for him, forget loan with obligation, none of that. Ship him off. I know some of you are saying he's young, he can still come good, all these things. No, I can't see it. Tell you what it is. The reason why I can't see it is because I believe that you need to have for me to see how good you could become, you need to have some certain fundamentals in your game. And there's so many fundamentals that he lacks in his game that I can never see him really achieving greatness. Not in the Premier League. Maybe he could play for like a West Ham or something, but not for Manchester United. So if we can get 40 million pounds for Højlund, listen, snap their hand off and sell him. Don't do no clever thing where you want to put him on loan to increase his fee so people can see him and all these things, or go bring him on loan, send him on loan so you can bring him back, and don't mess up like you did with Sancho and assume this and assume that. Get a permanent deal for this guy. If we are going to get a striker in, and if we've got Xerxes and we're going to keep Xerxes, we need to sell Højlund. We do. So that's my take on it. Let me know what your take is on this Højlund situation. Have you had enough of Højlund? Do you want him out the door? Is £40 million a good fee for him? Do you think it's going to happen? Personally, I would love for it to happen, but I reckon a loan deal is probably what we will end up with when it comes to Højlund. I think there's still some people in the United camp that see something in him. I don't, but there are some people. So I think it will probably be a loan deal for Højlund. But let me know, guys, what you think. Please comment below. As usual, keep the chat flowing. I think that's the transfer roundup. All the latest information that I currently have. I will be back same time tomorrow. I'm going to do these transfer talks every day around 7 o'clock for an hour. Sometimes I will be joined by other people. Sometimes it will just be me, and we will just chop it up and just go through all the rumors, the if, buts and maybes, the potentials, who's talking to who's talking where. We keep it a Manchester United bias. I'm a Manchester United fan. This is the Man United channel, really. So, yeah. Donnarumma. I see you want to talk about Donnarumma. This is my thing about Donnarumma. Like, people have forgotten that Donnarumma also has a bozo gene. Like, what we've seen of Donnarumma, especially in European competitions, phenomenal. But this guy also has a mistake in him. He also does some mad things. So if you think you're going to escape some madness, by signing Donnarumma or by signing Martinez from Aston Villa, he's on crack. Did you see the sending off against Aston Villa when we played them? What he did, that is Martinez. So also the fact that he got sent off means if we buy Martinez, he's going to miss the first 2 or 3 games of the season. So are these keepers upgrade on Onana? Yeah, I think so. I think they are. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that these keepers are amazing. I don't think, the levels and the quality difference between goalkeepers are as big as they were back in the day. I think most goalkeepers now are at a general level. I don't see there aren't too many elite, in my opinion, goalkeepers. There are a few, but not too many. Just like, in my opinion, there aren't too many elite footballers anymore. I think the quality has converged a little bit all over the park for me, including in goal. I think Onana's kicking. We bought Onana because we wanted to play out from the back, and I think Onana's kicking is overrated. I don't think it's good, but I don't think it's special. And where his kicking or his ability to play out from the back should compensate maybe for his lack of actual goalkeeping ability, it doesn't. Because let's say his goalkeeping ability is a 5 out of 10, and his kicking should make up for it, and his kicking should be like a 9 out of 10 to make up a little bit for the fact that he's not the best. His kicking's just decent. His kicking's okay. So I don't feel like his ability to play out from the back, or I feel like that his ability to play out from the back has been overstated. And as we know, Onana's made a lot of mistakes this year. I think that the mistakes he's made has been overstated. I think he's made 4 or 5 big errors that have led to goals. But I believe that United fans have somehow managed to believe that every time we've lost a game, it's been his fault. I think a lot of revisionism has happened with United fans. Up until January, right? Onana made no mistakes. He was fine. He was fine up until January. Then January, for a good couple months, he was making mistake after mistake. And I was like, oh my gosh. De Gea made loads of mistakes when he joined as well. Loads of mistakes. I guess the difference between De Gea and Onana is that De Gea was 18. He was a kid. Onana is supposed to be in his prime or getting towards his prime. He's supposed to be mid to late 20s. So you don't expect those types of mistakes from Onana. You just don't. So I'm ready. I'm ready for Onana to leave. I don't think we're going to get Donnarumma. So I don't really believe the Donnarumma rumours. I mostly believe the Martinez rumours. I think the Martinez situation has more legs to it than the Donnarumma. But who knows? I'm willing to be surprised. So there you go, guys. That's the transfer roundup for you. I am struggling. My eye is flipping my eye. So yeah, guys, that's a transfer roundup for you. Let me know what you guys are saying in the chat. Yeah, I think the chat is good. All right then, people. I'll be back same time again tomorrow with more news. Hopefully this evening we get a bit more news come out from the Manchester United team. Like I said, we only have 1 day left of this small window before it closes and then reopens again. So if nothing happens tonight, I don't think anything is going to happen tomorrow. So stay tuned and we'll be back same time tomorrow with more transfer talk, more Manchester United roundups. Peace out.